Nick, you know how some people name their penises?
Yeah, doesn't everyone?
My penis's name is Winter. Because winter's coming.
Oh my god.
What's up, guys? We're doing a special mini circle jerk.
We have your favorite jerks here. I'm Nick.
In Pizzle, and you got your boy Zach. And we're doing a special podcast in preparation of the season finale of Game of Thrones, Season 7. So we're gonna go through a little predictions, a little theories.
Of course, if you haven't, or if you aren't caught up on Game of Thrones, then I guess you should stop listening unless you want to get it spoiled for you.
Right. So, okay, I guess I'll ask you first, Nick. How do you think Season 7's gonna end here?
Like the very ending, or like what the whole next episode's gonna be?
Just the next episode.
Oh. Well, Angela and I were actually just talking about this today in the car, like before you even texted me, before I knew anything about it. We think, they'll have their own meeting with Cersei and stuff, and she won't believe them even though they have that dead one.
Right. It's like right in front of her, squirming around.
Yeah. I don't think she still won't think it's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I saw something online to where Tyrion, his main objective was not to convince Cersei that there's a problem beyond the wall,
mm-hmm.
but to convince the people of King's Landing. And then once the people see how big of a threat there is beyond the wall, and they see that Cersei is not willing to, fight for them, to protect them, I think he's trying to get the people on their side.
Yeah.
So it'd be easier to overtake her.
That'd be smart.
Yeah.
I think on the way to King's Landing, they're going to lose the White, and then they'll have to go back north, and Dany will lose another dragon.
Like, for real?
Yeah. No, not really. No, I think I saw a meme, speaking of that, where it was like Cersei says to Dany, "Didn't you have three dragons?" And then Dany's like, "Didn't you have 3 children?"
Oh, that's awful.
It was fantastic. If she made that tomorrow, I would lose it. So my prediction of what's going to happen is Cersei calls Dany there. She, I guess, acknowledges that there's a problem in the north, but she wants to settle their war first. And so once they're done with the White Walkers, this is who's going to rule the 7 Kingdoms. Let's just get it out of the way. And I think she's going to call for a trial by combat, with the Mountain being her main man. And Dany's got to look to Jon and be like, "Okay, you'll be my guy." And then
the Hound will...
The Hound's there, he's like, fuck you. Yeah. And so we're going to get Clegane Bowl. I'm 95% sure.
This episode,
they have led up to this. If it's gonna happen anytime, it's gonna be tomorrow.
It's like she might do it to be like, okay, if my guy wins, we won't support you, but like if the Mountain dies, then I don't know, she might help out or something.
See, okay, that's my next point. I don't think Cersei will be willing to help out no matter what.
No matter what?
I think the Hound's gonna beat the Mountain, and Cersei has a failsafe where she has the storages of wildfire underneath the dragon pits. And so that's like her nuclear plan. If she loses, then she's just gotta take all of her enemies with her. She's just like, fuck it. So I really don't see a purpose for Cersei in the fight against the White Walkers. I can't see her being involved in that at all. So I think she might even die next episode.
Yeah, you think she'll try to set a trap like they were talking about last episode, try to set a trap for them and they're not being prepared or something? And
I think there'll be fail-safes on both sides, but I feel like the reason that the writers made Sansa and Brienne as her envoy was to give Jaime another reason to stand up against Cersei. So he has kind of that tension with, she wanted him to punish Bronn for leading Tyrion and him together, and then Brienne's also going to be here. So those are people that he really cares about, plus Tyrion. And so I think it's got to be enough for him to. Yeah.
Plus, you can totally tell that he's like tired of her, like.
Yeah, I think he was starting to turn against her. Then she's like, "Yeah, I have a baby," which is obviously bullshit. Yeah. I think the chances that she has a legitimate child are pretty low. So we got that. I think Cersei will die. We'll have a Clegane Bowl.
What do you think the last scene of that episode is going to be?
I was actually leading into that.
Okay.
The title of the episode is called "The Wolf and the Dragon." So I think that's got to be an allusion to Jon's parentage finally coming out. And that'll be the final scene. I think it'd be hilarious. If I was writing the episode, this is how I would write it. Dany and Jon finally bang.
Just bang the whole episode.
Shortly after Sam arrives, him and Gilly just exposed in the book his true lineage, and so he comes in and he tells them that, and they just kind of look at each other and like, fuck. So that's how the season ends.
Okay. I have a different theory.
Okay.
Completely different. Do you think, okay, before I go, do you think it'll end as a cliffhanger, or like, just something big's going to happen? Kind of like in The Walking Dead, to where, this last season it's like, okay, we're going to war. Mm-hmm. Do you think it'll be like that this season, to where, next season's going to be, starting the big war? Or you think there's going to be like a big cliffhanger like the last season?
I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I really don't know. I've thought about both.
What I thought a good ending would be is, now that the Night King has a dragon, like if the dragon, like if he was able to destroy the wall, like just like use the dragon and like somehow like knock the wall down, and then the final scene would be White Walkers just flooding into the south.
See, I feel like the wall is way too thick for the.
Well, we don't know if he does ice. Like, do we know for sure if it's an ice dragon, or if he still does fire? Like, if it's fire, I mean.
Still, like, that's a freaking massive wall. That would take forever to do that.
I don't know. The wall's got to come down.
Well, see, no, I saw a theory where people were saying, since winter is coming, part of the ocean by the wall or the river or whatever was going to turn to ice, and they were going to use that as like a little bridge to go around the wall. Well, it's right by Eastwatch, so that would.
I know, but sense. The wall has to come down. We've been hearing from the very beginning, like, how big it is, and
yeah,
it's the most important thing, keeping the White Walkers out. And I think, it'd be perfect to have the wall knocked down somehow.
It would be cool. I hope it does happen. I just trying to think of how they would do that, because it'd take a long time just to like breathe fire and melt it.
So that'd be a cool ending. And then so the whole last season would be, the war.
Yeah. That's another thing. I think they're gonna kill off a lot of the people in the dragon pits. Like, I think Varys is probably gonna die. Like the people that are not going to be like essential fighters in this war. Like, I feel like the people that are playing crafty, they don't really have a place in this anymore.
Like Littlefinger.
Well, that's another thing. The thing that I'm most uncertain about going into this finale is what's going to happen between Sansa, Arya, and Littlefinger. I have two ideas. One, either Bran comes and exposes him or whatever, and they kind of drive him out. Now, I think what would be interesting is if he somehow escapes being killed, like he catches on to their plan or whatever, his last-ditch effort is to go north to the White Walkers and kind of like make an alliance with them, sort of like how Craster did, and just give them inside information and stuff.
And so there's only 6 episodes left, though, so we don't really have a whole lot more time to get into a different
storyline with Arya and them. Yeah, there's no time to dick around.
Yeah,
but I think that would be interesting to have him join the Night King. The other theory was somehow Sansa kind of takes over the North with Littlefinger, and so they kind of have to deal with that in addition to the Night King. So we'll just kind of have to see. What do you think is more likely? Do you think Littlefinger will die next episode?
I don't know. I think bad things are coming his way. I saw something online to where it's another theory. You know, there's a whole bunch of theories out there, but Arya is actually playing Littlefinger instead of Littlefinger being one step ahead of Arya.
I've seen that.
Yeah, Arya is actually ahead of Littlefinger. So like when she was following him and stuff, like letting Littlefinger know that she was following him, just like I don't know.
Yeah.
Make Littlefinger think he's driving a wedge between Sansa and.
Yeah, that would definitely
Arya.
be more in character for Arya, because she's like a freaking master assassin at this point, and she's making rookie mistakes if things are what they seem.
Like when Sansa found her bag of faces when she was going through Arya's room, like Arya got behind her, like opened the door, didn't hear anything, and then just like scared her. It's like if she could be that silent, then there's no way Littlefinger should have been able to notice that she was following him.
Well, if Littlefinger's a faceless man,
maybe it's.
What if he's Syrio?
What if he's
or
no
Jock
one?
And Hagar?
What if he's no one?
Right. I'd be kind of pissed if they did that. That'd be so out of nowhere. But I hope Jockin does come back into play somehow. That'd be pretty neat. It's one of like the last mysteries of Game of Thrones. Let's see what else we got. Oh, do you think Theon will rescue Yara next episode?
Yeah, I mean, probably.
I feel like
he's gonna redeem himself somehow.
He needs to be redeemed.
Whether like sacrificing himself, like sacrificing his life to save his siblings, or whatever.
Yeah, something's
gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel like I don't want to see him die. I want to see him redeem himself and build himself back up from ground zero. So I think if it's gonna happen anytime again, it's gotta be next episode. Fighting Euron to save Yara. So I think that'd be cool. Maybe he'll chop Euron's dick off and then stitch it onto himself. he just goes on a spree where he becomes like this total badass after this, and he chops off the wieners of all of his enemies. It's kind of similar to like how they made the Iron Throne, like putting smelting all the swords together. He just makes that out of wieners, but stitches them like
he like stuffs them like they do animals.
Yeah.
Like stuff them like fully erect. And...
Yeah. No, he stitches it onto his pelvis, so it looks like a bloomin' onion.
Like all shriveled up and brown.
They're like rotting. No, he gets Qyburn to do it, so it looks really good.
He should have Sam do it. Shit.
Yeah,
he's like a master surgeon.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen with Sam and them? Where are they going? They going to Winterfell with Jon?
Yeah, I think they'll go to Winterfell. I think
he'll be a deserter.
He's definitely not going to King's Landing. I think he's going to Winterfell. I'm trying to think of like if he's going to reveal the Targaryen thing to them, or maybe Littlefinger finds the book in his stuff, and that creates a further claim for Sansa to take the North.
Yeah, maybe Gilly might, because Sam, cut her off before she could actually tell him, so I doubt Sam knows. Gilly...
Right, he doesn't know yet.
Yeah, Gilly's the one who read it, so maybe, like, if you do meet up with Jon or whatever, or even, like, Sansa and them, it was like, oh, you're a Stark. And it was like, oh, I just read, Rhaegar was married to Lyanna, and they had a son, and they put it together like, oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I can see that happening next episode, and then that's like the thing that spurs Littlefinger and Sansa to make their move, kind of.
Yeah, and then I don't know how the North will take it, knowing that he's a Targaryen.
Oh, I think they'd go with Sansa. Yeah. Most of them, like except Little Lady Mormont. Let's see. What else we got? So we covered Clegane Bowl, Jon's parentage, Cersei. Oh, the Cersei and Dany thing. I think it'd be neat if Cersei...
They're gonna les out?
Yeah, if they lesed out by Joffrey's corpse. No, I think it'd be neat if, since she has like the wildfire stores under the dragon pits or whatever, she uses the line "burn them all," and then that like triggers Jaime, and like he's looking around, he sees Bronn, Tyrion, Brienne, and he's like, "Fuck this," and he just stabs her. So that'd be neat.
No, isn't the prophecy that he's gonna like choke her to death or something?
The prophecy is that she will be killed by her little brother, and so
yeah, but
she always thought it was gonna be Tyrion, but technically Jaime is born second out of the twins.
Yeah, was it just that, or like if it was like choked or something? I thought it was.
I don't remember anything about choking. Okay, so the next thing that we were gonna go through was, how do you think Game of Thrones will end as a whole? What's your prediction, and then what's your like ideal ending? Like, even if it's probably slim to none is gonna happen.
Okay, I'll do my ideal first.
Okay.
And the good guys win, like Jon and Daenerys.
You don't want the White Walkers to win?
Well, I mean, that'd be...
What about white supremacy?
That'd be some shit, wouldn't it? Just like, everyone dies.
There would be riots. This would be like the white people Ferguson.
I don't know. Anyway, I think they might win. Or I hope they win. Mm-hmm. And like, see, I don't know once Jon finds out if he's a Targaryen, I don't know if he'll be, into the whole incest thing.
I don't think he cares, dude. He sees that platinum blonde pussy. He's like, give me some of that. He'd be more into it because it's kinky.
I don't know. Well, okay. He's only been with one person, so...
Right. Okay, he goes with Sam instead.
Gilly.
He ditches Gilly. Okay, who are you shipping for the end? Who ends up with who? It's all gay, right?
What?
All gay.
No. I think, Dany and Jon, I hope get together. Because, I mean, especially they were holding hands and stuff. You can really see their chemistry.
Yeah.
Already. And I don't know about Brienne. I don't know who she's going to go with. Probably Jaime.
I hope it's Jaime.
Yeah, I'll probably go with Jaime. But, Tormund, he, kills me with his stuff.
Tormund's great, dude. I feel like if she's going to go with Jaime, Tormund's probably going to die.
Yeah.
Which I think he'll die no matter what.
Or Tormund might save her life or something, and I don't know.
She'll fall for him or something. Yeah. I don't know. Jaime and Brienne have been apart for so long, it's kind of hard to imagine them together, I guess. But if you go back and watch the old episodes, I was shipping them hardcore back then.
Yeah.
Any more you wanted to say about your ideal ending?
No, that's just they find a way to wipe them all out, whether it's using the two dragons or, I mean, that really is the only way, but...
Okay.
And they, I guess just give everyone dragon glass. They've been mining it for however long now. We haven't seen anything about the weapons and stuff they've been making, or... They
actually had the weapons in the last episode.
Did they?
Yeah, those were some of the weapons they mined.
Okay, well, I don't know. Well, anyways, how it could end... we talked about a little bit with Bran, and they could be getting totally overwhelmed and stuff, and then Bran might have to die.
I think Bran's definitely going to die.
Yeah, and if the theories are true that he is the Night King, he went back in time, and then he was there too long and he couldn't,
come back.
Couldn't come back, and he ended up turning into the first White Walker, the Night King. Mm-hmm. And, if he knows that, then he might tell them that, and that might be the only way to kill him. Just kill himself, and then he'll die,
Yeah.
Theoretically.
How I'm imagining it is, he went back into the past, when the Children of the Forest were still a big thing. He's, trying to learn more about them to use it against the White Walkers. And he stays too long, and then... that's when they take him. Whenever the Three-Eyed Raven took him back and he witnessed the dude with being turned into the Night King, he didn't realize that was him. So he's kind of stuck back there, and
I read he might have went back to that time, but it wasn't him. but he just like warged into that guy to try to talk to them like he did Hodor.
Yeah,
and then like they.
I think that'd be incredibly stupid though. Like he saw what this guy looked like.
Well, if he tried to like warg into him so he could explain to the children of the forest like what a problem these White Walkers will eventually become, and then they still like turn him into a White Walker.
Huh.
And then I don't know.
I don't like that. What else was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So the more I look into this, the more I feel like it's plausible. With Bran being the Night King, I think it's gonna end with. Okay, so last episode we found out that if you kill the White Walker that turned all the whites into whites, it kills all of them. So I feel like they're going to eventually kill the Night King and all the generals and stuff, but there's still going to be a shit ton of whites out there. And they're like, why are all these whites still here? Well, it's because Bran's still alive. So like once Bran in the past was turned into the Night King, they kind of have like a Harry Potter Voldemort bond where like Voldemort can't die unless all the Horcruxes are gone, so Harry has to be killed. So they have to kill Bran to like kill all the whites too. So I feel like it'd be kind of neat for them to call back to the very first episode where Bran had to witness Ned executing that guy. And like he put a big emphasis on like how important it was for the leader to do this for the greater good and stuff. And Jon was the guy next to him that was like, don't look away. So I feel like that'd be a good callback to, like even in the first episode they were foreshadowing how this would end. So I think that'd be pretty sweet. One of the things that people have been calling for a while is that Dany is going to die at the end because of her visions in the House of the Undying.
Yeah,
where she sees Drogo and her unborn child, and they're like leading her into the afterlife.
Like how her love for her dragons is end up going to lose the power that she's been after. Like she's going to be more worried about protecting her dragons and stuff, that she'll never get the power she's been fighting for.
Not even that. I think she's just gonna have like a sacrificial thing. If she dies, there'll be like this huge sacrificial.
That's what I'm saying.
Thing.
Like one way she could like get the power, but be alive. But the other way she could like save her dragons or something, but she'll have to like die or something like that.
I can see her dying for Jon Snow.
Or I'm not even saying her dragons, the people she cares about.
Yeah.
Like she's such like a good person, like morally, or she tries to be.
Yeah.
That she could sacrifice herself for the people around her.
Yeah, I can see that. At this point I really hope that she doesn't die though, because I just like shipping her and Jon so much. They're such a power couple. So okay, my ideal way of this, how this would end, would be obviously Daenerys surviving, but if she doesn't, then Jon is on the Iron Throne with Tyrion as his hand. Arya kind of just goes off by herself and goes exploring into the Shadowlands. I think that'd be super cool. Jaime and Brienne get together, and then Sansa's the Warden of the North, and then Bran's dead.
I mean, who knows? Like, if we do end up winning, they might like change the whole political system of Westeros. Like instead of just having like one king over the 7 kingdoms, they could just just divide them up, and because this is what it's all about, just that one king and the 7 kingdoms fighting for that one source of power. They don't want to repeat of...
Yeah, there might be like instead of one king, there's like a council.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I could see that. That'd be cool.
Something like that.
I didn't think about that. I don't think there would be very many people left. Like, out of the entire populace. I think the White Walkers will take a lot of them out. So I think it's just... gotta be like, okay, we're gonna rebuild it then.
Okay. Before go on, I want to say how disappointed I am. We didn't get to see like a big reaction from Cersei when Jaime told Cersei about all the gold that they lost. Like I wanted her to get like pissed off.
Okay, see, I thought you're talking about when Dany blew up all the things. So the gold wasn't in there. I didn't catch that
Was
at
it?
first. like right before Dany showed up, Tarly came up to Jaime and said, "Oh, the gold shipment made its way safely."
Oh.
So that caravan had already passed, and this was just food and whatever else. So Dany actually blew up like all the food and stuff, which they desperately needed, but she didn't know that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I didn't catch.
Yeah. One of the things I'm most interested to see is, I think it's like 95% sure that the Night King and Bran are the same person, right? But I'm interested to see like how he's able to influence history. So like a big theory has been like he is all these different Brans from history, like Bran the Builder that built the wall and like all this other stuff. But I'm trying to figure out like how he's going to do that. Like if he warged back into the past and became like the Night King or whatever, what happens to his consciousness or his body like in the present? Is he just stuck in the warging mode in the present?
Probably. Or
like whenever he's in the past, does his consciousness split off from his body and it's devoured by the Night King, and so he's just kind of like in an ethereal mode and he can like warg people or some shit? I don't know, but like I think everyone's pretty sure that he is the voice that the Mad King heard that says burn them all, and all that crap. But I'm going to take it a step further where I think he's the Lord of Light. So I think he's been trying to influence all these people to bring the pieces together to defeat the White Walkers. Like whenever the Hound saw the vision of the mountain or whatever in the fire, I think that was Bran. Like, I don't know how he's got to get all these powers or whatever. He's going to have to gain some other power.
He probably doesn't know all of the powers. He just became... He hasn't been able to really test his powers and see what he can do.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I do agree. It was probably Bran that told the Mad King to burn him.
Yeah.
In an attempt to, tell them how to beat the White Walkers. Mm-hmm. And then when that didn't work out, he tried to go back further.
Yeah.
And then to build the wall, and then, that didn't work out, so he tried to go back further to the first men.
Mm-hmm.
And become that when we were talking about earlier, when he became the first White Walker, he went back that far, and then he got stuck.
Yeah.
I think it might tie in like that.
Yeah. He might even, know, beforehand he knows that the Mad King would have this reaction or whatever, but maybe, he knows in the future they're going to need the wildfire to be there so that they can use it. So, it's going to suck them. I'm going to make the Mad King crazy and have him kill, my uncle and grandfather and all this other crap. But it's necessary to complete the cycle, I guess. So, it'll be interesting. Anything else that you wanted to say?
No, I just can't wait.
Yeah, dude.
I'm so excited for Sunday.
And then we'll have to wait 2 more years for the last season.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think, what theories you have, how you guys want the series to end, and how you think season 7 will end. Yeah.